Now that you're CEO at Pierag Consulting, what are your top priorities for the upcoming years?
Whenever we focus on priorities, there are over 10 key priorities comes to my mind every time I think about it.
Are there plans to expand into further geographies or introduce more service lines into the picture?
Currently, our objective is to keep on penetrating in both the markets, US and India.
Everybody has a different set of expectations. How do we align all of it together? How do you manage that?
It starts with understanding the client.
Transparency and visibility are big themes for you. How do you plan to embed these across Pierag?
In every working relationship and a professional environment, transparency is very important. Being professionals, it is important to know what elements are there to practice that.
So, what is that one leadership philosophy that you follow now that you have stepped into this new role?
And one thing that struck me well so far is what COO stands for.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Pieragcast. It's a podcast series by Pierag Consulting where we decode market insights and dive deep into the world of global assurance, accounting advisory, business, and technology risk. The aim of Pieragcast is to explore the evolving landscape of consulting, the rise of GCCs, and to listen to stories by inspiring leaders who are redefining operations and innovation. I am Priyamvada Mukherjee, the host for today's podcast. I'm a chartered accountant by profession, and I have been working for Pierag for about 2.5 years now. I work as a senior in the accounting advisory domain. The theme for today's podcast is going to be leading with data, driving with transparency, and redefining operations at Pierag. And to bring this theme to life, we have a very special guest with us today, Mr. Sanchit Gupta, CEO and MD at Pierag Consulting. Sanchit has over 15 years of experience, and he's a business leader with a proven track record of developing innovative and scalable business solutions. Sanchit has previously worked for organizations like EY, and he has spent several years in Houston, Texas, and he brings a global perspective to operations and leadership at Pierag Consulting. At Pierag, he plays an instrumental role in shaping the firm's business model and operational frameworks. It's a pleasure to have you on our podcast, Sanchit. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Premvada, and thanks for the introduction. I'm delighted to be part of this podcast, and I'm sure my views and thoughts are going to be helpful for our viewers. And I'm really looking forward for this conversation between us.
That's amazing, Sanchit. Let's get started with the podcast. So, first of all, I would like to congratulate you on your new role as MD and CEO at Pierag Consulting. How do you feel stepping into this role as an MD for Pierag Consulting?
Uh, I would say it is a role with huge responsibility. When I got to know about this new role and what it all takes for me to do here, I was initially skeptical how I'm going to do it. But over the period when I got into the role, I correlated it what I have been doing in prior years. It definitely aligns with my vision, my expectations for the firm. What can be better than shaping the organization's culture, structure, and strategy when you have got that opportunity? So I'm really looking forward to it, and I want to thank our leadership team to have a faith in me to do this. And I definitely want to collaborate amongst all of them with different stakeholders in the firm, outside the firm, to make sure I'm able to contribute positively to this role.
That's amazing, Sanchit. The way that you speak about it with so much purpose and a sense of responsibility is truly inspiring to see. And having been associated with Pierag for over 2.5 years now, I can also see that the firm has grown exponentially in front of my eyes. And we are also very culturally rich. We celebrate all festivities together. We give back to the society in the form of CSR initiatives. And we focus a lot, not just on client deliverables, but on the people here. So that's what makes Pierag really different from the other firms. And it's really glad, and I'm very happy to be a part of this journey.
Definitely, we want to serve our clients. We want to give the right growth to the people. We want to whatever extent we can serve the society. I think most of the organizations want to do that. I think we were fortunate enough that we can go to the canvas board and draw what we really want. One thing that came out very uniquely there is the culture of belongingness. uh, I'm sure that is what really matters the most to us. And with so much evolution happening in the current era, people coming with different expectations, clients holding different expectations, it is, and how in my role I can support in building the scalability. I definitely think of standardizing our processes, our procedures, making sure we enable our entire ecosystem in terms of having the right set of technology tools to deliver on client, gain operational excellence, have clarity in the approach to deal with the client, and able to understand the changing requirements of the organization, uh, because we are living in a dynamic world, and our key priorities for clients will also keep on changing, and we need to ensure that we are able to align as we move forward. And I think the third one I would say among as the others is going to be how we can use data. So far, at least I can say when we were in the initial years, we were making certain decisions based on our experience and intuitions. Because as an organization, we had limited transactions, we lack any data, and the depth of the data also, even if we have any. uh, at least in last 1 to 3 years, we have been able to set up the structures uh, around the data and capturing the movement across the firm, be it our people related data, be it our operations, our finance, our IT. Now we are able to make a decision based on data rather than intuition, and it it has given us significant insight, and I would say we will continue to prioritize it as we move forward, since it helps us to ensure that there is no disconnect within the firm and everyone is able to collaborate. I think amongst others there are so many others, but these are the top three priorities I would definitely want to call out.
Amazing, Sanchit. And I completely agree. Data is a very important tool. It's a tool for empowerment and not just a control mechanism. And you spoke about accountability. So I was just wondering, everybody has a different set of expectations. Clients have different expectations. People within the organization have their own personal goals aligned. There are other external stakeholders. How do we align all of it together? How do you manage that? Because that could be a real challenge.
It's a wonderful question again, Premvada. One thing I can say is it is certainly challenging to ensure the alignment amongst our client, our people, and overall firm. Uh, Definitely, it starts with understanding the client, right? That is the topmost priority for us, that we are able to discover, first of all, what are their actual needs. uh, Once we are able to get through that stage, definitely we need to understand whether we have the right skill sets in the organization in terms of the people, in terms of the expertise, and their respective aspirations. Uh, Over the period, what we have realized that client needs will keep on changing, people's expectations will keep on changing. We make sure that we keep our people at the center stage when we are working and dealing with the clients. What it does differently is whenever we are signing up any engagement, we are working on expanding our scope of work, and our people are involved, it helps us to align their respective expectations with the clients. It helps us to bring the right set of accountability and ownership in them, which I would say is otherwise difficult when we are just onboarding them at the time of delivery. So this has worked in our favor so far, and we continuously want to make sure our managers and above, they continue working with us while we are dealing with the client when we are onboarding them.
Amazing. Another question that came to my mind when you spoke about this was you spoke on scalability. So, are there plans to expand into further geographies or introduce more service lines into the picture?
Our journey has been a roller coaster, to be very honest, because when we were setting up, we thought that we will stick to the US market. And I would say a couple of years were very much focused there. Good client base in India, and we started expanding our services in India. And currently, our objective is to keep on penetrating in both the markets, US and India. However, we are working significantly in the UK and Middle East market to expand there as well. And our approach is not the length and breadth of the market that we are working on, but it is about the depth that we get into. I think that is what matters the most. And what we have been able to change over the period is, rather than just focusing on geography, we are also making sure that our respective service lines are expanding as well. So let me give an example. For initially, we started with assurance. We expanded in risk advisory, and we got clients in risk advisory first, then assurance rather. Over the period, we further expanded risk advisory in different verticals, and we added technology risk. Over the period, we realized we need accounting advisory, and now further accounting advisory is growing as well. And now we are delving further into ESG and sustainability. And within each of these service lines, understanding the respective markets requirements, we are further, for example, in technology risk, we are establishing cybersecurity, data privacy. In accounting advisory, we are establishing our technical accounting function, our financial due diligence function, and likewise. So it is going both horizontally and vertically when I talk about the growth in terms of geography plus service lines.
Wonderful, Sanchit. In the previous question, we spoke about data and you were emphasizing on data led decisions.
Everything that we are doing at an organization, at least we want to make sure it is recorded. So we have to make sure that the data capturing process is adequate and sufficient enough, which we have built over the period as a system. We have still some work which needs to be done. And I can give an example here, which I can recollect, that in the initial couple of years, we were heavily focused on doing a mass hiring. And it was a challenge to make sure how we are going to maintain the recruitment data and keep a track of it. And we were just dealing with Excel spreadsheets, which has like thousands and thousands of rows, so many columns. It was getting so difficult for us to keep a track and do it effectively. So we were just brainstorming what we should do, and we were trying to look for right products, and we were not of a size that we can afford to build it on our own or get it built. We got to know that there is a way out, a technological way out, and we built a system known as Sift Talent in the firm. So we were now able to track the entire journey of the candidate from sourcing till the offer, and which was built indigenously by the people of the firm for the people of the firm. And we were able to process almost over 10,000 profiles in last 2 years in that system. Though now we are leapfrogging further, and over the next couple of months, we are going to change our approach of the entire recruitment, which is going more recruitment 2.0 for us from what we have started almost 4 years ago. That was only one of the use case. In terms of how we are making sure we make our clients' margin economics under control, to make sure what we are working with our clients is effective enough, we get the right margins on our account. We are able to establish systems, and now that is linked with the respective leaders' overall key focus areas. And what is more important in terms of data is not capturing and having a data with you, but how you are regularly reviewing it. So we have regular monthly meetings, or at times it depends, the frequencies can be different, but everyone comes on board, they see the data, and then the decisions are made basis the data that they can see in front of them. So we have been able to build a real time access to that information, which is available on different intelligent dashboards, which everyone has access, and linked to the overall vision of the firm. So I can say data has been able to make us more transparent, uh, and it helps us to collaborate better amongst others, and it has reduced the level of judgment, uh, to the extent the data objectively is helping us to make a decision.
That's amazing. And it's truly wonderful to see what we can do with data, and especially the world that we live in right now with AI transforming the way that we do things. And I've seen that Pirag has taken that early mover advantage, wherein it is pitching clients with real time dashboards. They're using data analytics to handle their projects. And it shows that how well technology and decision making is blended here at Pirag. So it's a wonderful journey. So, Sanchit, my next question to you is transparency and visibility are big themes for you. How do you plan to embed these across Pirag?
In every working relationship and a professional environment, transparency is very important, and being professionals, it is important to know what elements are there to practice that. So the first that comes to my mind always, and which we preach a lot as well as we practice, is open communication. uh, Open communication is a recipe for all the conversations, be it positive, negative, or whatsoever, and with all the types of stakeholder, be it with your client, your external partners, with your own people. If you are able to ensure that the conversation is open, proactive, uh, meaningful, and authentic, uh, it goes a long way. So that's step number one, at least when I think about transparency. Then I think what the most important part is how you build the trust. I think trust is very important. Whatever ambition, whatever goals you are setting for the firm, and what goals are you setting for the people, and what you are signing up with your clients, are they all aligning together, right? They cannot go in different directions. Once you are able to stitch all of this together, uh, and you are able to successfully deliver to the promises that you are making to your people, to your client, and you are able to meet your goals of the firm, it goes a long way in ensuring the trust, right? Apart from that, I think access to the information real time is important. For that, I would say honesty plays a significant part. It cannot happen that I reserve an information from a client which can bring a change in the decision, be it a finding or an observation that I found while working on a client, but I cannot be afraid to share with them, considering that this can impact my engagement with them, right? Similar to any business challenges, any new developments, we have to make sure we share with our people. If we are hiding it from them, it loses the trust. Timing can be different. However, the information should come to their doorstep whenever it has to. I think that is most important. I would say the last one is inclusion. With the size of our organization uh, and the kind of culture we have built at an organization, decision cannot be made by one person. It has to be made by the right set of individuals who possess the requisite skills, knowledge, experience for the respective topic and needs to make a decision. So, getting on board the right set of members for a particular decision is very important. That helps us to limit our risk of making a decision which is not acceptable. Once decisions are accepted well across the firm, across our clients, our partners, we build trust over the period of our decisions and our objectives with them.
Amazing. Absolutely. You're completely right when you say that transparency is actually the stepping stone in building a trust, whether it is within the organization or with our clients. And we also have a very robust feedback system in our organization. And from my personal experience, we have regular discussion with our counselors where they talk about our personal goals, our career goals, and they provide us with resources and encouragement to reach our maximum potential. So that makes us feel more included and supported in the organization.
Yeah, you very well said. I think client feedbacks are very important, and though we have a mechanism, periodicity, a structure, form to seek feedbacks, but it is very important that we have to go beyond that. Uh, it is not a process oriented system. We have to regularly meet our clients at different frequencies. We have to do both formal, informal communication with them while we are seeking feedback. And we have to be more progressive in our thought process rather than being defensive, because it cannot be possible that clients are going to share positive feedbacks only all the time. We do and we will keep on hearing something which is more constructive in nature. How we accept it, how we listen it versus hear is going to be very important. And that is the practice that we are developing amongst our people as well, that you need to at least hear it out rather than judging your own self or someone. Let's hear it out and then go back to the drawing board whenever needed and see how best we can mitigate that for the next time. I think that is the most important part.
Absolutely. Like feedback is not always going to be positive. There will be negative feedback. And that's the beauty of it. Like when we get real time feedback, we can see what challenges we are dealing with and we can help solve those challenges early on itself. And then we can strive to improve in the future. This is how the entire learning process works. It's an ongoing journey. So definitely real time feedback is very important for us. My next question to you is, as COO, what are the challenges that you foresee in the upcoming 3-4 years, and how do you plan to deal with them?
So there are a lot of challenges, but you have to say few of them is uh, which comes inherently as we are growing as an organization, almost at an exponential rate, is a change management. And when I say so is since we are in a short period of time, and for that we are getting different leaders from different firms, how best we are able to align all of it for a common objective is going to be a key priority and a challenge at the same time. And we are definitely working a lot around that. And the way I see it, that it is a new normal for us now, since our vision for next 5 years will keep this as top one priority for us, since change will still keep on happening, and with every change that is going to come on our way, we need to make sure we have the ability to deal with it. And then second challenge is around the changing landscape of the entire world. and how we navigate and respond in terms of ongoing geopolitical uncertainties, technological disruptions, uh, and expectations mismatch amongst different stakeholders, and it will continue evolve over the period, and we need to make sure that we stay updated, and how we need to change over the period in terms of for example, if I have to give how we do a better price negotiation with clients in terms of uh, so many variables and moving pieces around without compromising on our quality and our value system is going to be a key challenge. uh, Second is how best we can keep promises to our people in terms of making sure they keep on growing over the period, since we believe that uh, we would continue getting people from lateral hiring. However, we would like to focus more on getting our people ready. So we want to build them as future leaders within the organization. Uh, and I think transparency in working and dealing with so many different contractors and channel partners that we deal, be it in technology, specialized services, or day to day infrastructure and logistics. Everything is going to be important as we are going to deal with it. And I'm sure there will be a lot of challenges which will come on our way, and we are all ready to handle it.
Great, Sanchit. So, Sanchit, you had mentioned about pricing challenges. So, I was also wondering about this. With so much competition around us, how do we ensure that we are providing the right service at the right price, at the same time ensuring that the quality is not getting hampered?
It's a very deep question, Premvada, and I can say we are continuously navigating through it. Uh, can I say we have a certain answer? Probably not. But at least what we have been able to do successfully so far, and we continuously want to stick to that fundamental, is that we want to hear the client's requirement. Uh, because we are not dealing just in the India market, we are dealing in different markets across the globe, including US. There can be price disturbances which can come due to dollar rate fluctuations, all the news around tariff wars, and and there can be positive news which can come due to free trade agreements. However, what the client is expecting in terms of the services and what we can give them as a bundle in terms of the right talent, technology, experience, and continuity is going to be key change driver uh, as we move forward. Uh, so far, we are thinking again on the delivery models with them, which better suit to them rather than having a very standard delivery model which we were working on for first few years. Since last year or so, we have changed our approach. We have become more flexible, and our approach has become more agile in terms of changing the pricing calculations uh, to align which suits best interest of our clients.
Thank you so much, Sanchit. That gave us a lot of clarity. My next question is slightly on a personal line. So, what is that one leadership philosophy that you follow now that you have stepped into this new role?
For leadership philosophy, I have been thinking about it since taking the role, what a CEO can do in any organization. Uh, and I heard various coaches around it. And one thing that struck me well so far is COO stands for. Whether it stands for Chief Operating Officer, probably not. And I heard that it stands for Chief Opportunity Officer. How best in my role I can make sure that the firm keeps on scaling, where we keep on scaling our business without disrupting our operations. how people keep on growing, uh, and we align all of them together is going to be very important. And I think the philosophy that I would like to practice here are being authentic, that we need to stay integral uh, to the values that we are working on since we have established organization. And as I said earlier, how we all, rather than few, are having a sense of ownership. So I would say authenticity is going to be in the top of my head. And the second one is how we all stay focused to the mission that we are on. And for that, we all need to understand our respective roles and responsibilities better, and stay open in terms of the support that is needed to effectively contribute on the expectations. Around that, we have built key performance indicators, which helps us to measure the success at client uh, for the respective individuals, for respective business, and keep providing the support either to an individual or the entire service line. And we aim to continuously keep working on that. And I think one more important thing I want to call out is the credibility. In the professional services business, how our clients or people are going to practice expertise, how to demonstrate the expertise is going to be very important. Uh, and For that, we need to ensure that we get the right set of subject matter experts uh, on the table. We need to be more like specialists rather than generalists, and that will be our key focus. And I would say, as a philosophy, we cannot serve any professional services firm without making sure that we have the right expertise with us.
So, Sanchit, my question is, what practices have we done to maintain credibility and trust amongst our clients over a period of time?
There are a lot of examples around it. However, the one that I would like to call out is when we were partnering with Baker Tilly US. Almost 3 years back, when we were having conversations with them, we were understanding the requirements. At that stage, we heard them saying that they are considering uh, to be in India or not to be India due to the fact that they think that they are very late. They're almost 10 years behind it, because most of their peers have been in India for a few years already. And uh, though jokingly we said it that probably that was true until yesterday, and everything has changed today because you have met us. And since we bring experience of almost 15 years in the industry, whatever practices we have been able to learn, uh, whatever models, whatever the best practices that we currently do as part of a regular business, we can help them speed up and catch the flight which probably they are thinking that they have missed long time ago. And I think rest is the history. And 3 years till today, we have been able to establish almost a 500 member team across different service lines in different parts of the country. And we have not been able to just set the teams, but were able to set the right processes, uh, right set of leadership, right set of delivery model, which they never thought initially. So, our collaboration with them, our expertise in this industry was able to change their approach altogether, that why they want to be in India. So we are very proud that we had that conversation and we heard something which made us also think that we need to prove them that it is not late, rather it's the right timing. Because if they would have started 5 years back, maybe they would have started as peers, but now they have ahead of most of them in terms of the depth of the practice that we were able to set up for them in last 3 years.
That's wonderful, Sanchit. My last question to you is, what is your vision for Pierag in the upcoming 5 years?
So vision for the firm is uh, to make sure that we are recognized as a top consulting firm in our domain. Uh, and for that, we are doing everything possible, uh, getting the right leadership on the table, opening the new service lines, expanding our client bases, not in just terms of geography, but also sectors. Secondly, we would like to make sure that people at Pierag continue growing and we build future leaders from within. And I feel we are at a stage where after 2 to 3 years from here, we will be less dependent on hiring from outside the market, uh, but we'll be able to elevate our existing people. For that, we are providing them the right set of coaching, mentorship, and giving them the opportunity to fail. And this is helping a lot because we have seen a significant change in uh, the top talent which we are investing on right now. And our vision would be to continue doing that because we will need the right set of leaders to take us forward in future. Our vision will also remain to keep on expanding our geography. We are already present in India and doing a significant portion of business in the US. However, we want to establish ourselves as a recognized consulting organization in UK and Middle East, and we are working a lot on our strategy around that, and a more to come around that in future. And lastly, I would say giving back to the society in terms of helping people who are in need, be it in terms of our CSR activities, uh, and making sure we are able to uh, run programs for people in need. And I'm sure we are totally committed to achieve that.
Wonderful, Sanchit. The way you speak about all of this with so much passion and a sense of responsibility, it is truly inspiring to see. And the entire podcast has been very insightful. I've loved listening about your vision, your approach, and being a member of the CSR committee has also been a very enriching experience in my professional journey. So, Sanchit, I was just wondering, we emphasize a lot on quality. What exactly do you mean by that, and how are we going about it?
It's a great question. I think that is what any client would look for when they are partnering with us. It all starts with the right set of talent that we onboard. So, how we source, recruit, and onboard the right set of talent, that approach, that methodology is very crucial in this process. Second, how we train them, how what kind of support we provide them in the organization in terms of their relevant experience, their reporting structures, and different toolkits that we can provide them. Last but not the least in this one is around compliances. So we are fortunate that in a less than like 2 years to 3 years time frame, we were able to get ourselves certified as ISO, GDPR, CCPA, SOC reviews, and we are currently working heavily on getting us ISQM certified as well, which will help us to go deeper in our service delivery on a quality front. And we have linked it with the respective performances at for our individuals. And this remains as a key question to our clients whenever we meet, that what can we do better. And we are fortunate enough that the clients that we have got uh, across geographies, across service lines, uh, we have been able to hear from them openly. So there are not reserved thoughts which will limit our uh, approach towards quality, but we have been able to hear from them openly over the period, and we are fortunate enough that we have got so fantastic clients with us.
Amazing. You spoke about talent here. I would just want to know, I've heard that we are trying to build future leaders from within the organization, or resources are being provided to them, and how are we going about this entire process?
It's an area where we are working since last few years. The most important part is identifying the top talent. We all have to understand that not all 100% of the organization people can be high performers. So we definitely keep on assessing our high performing team members. Then we do have a conversation with them around their future path, about their aspirations with them, and this helps us to carve out a specific and a very individually centric program for them. For example, some people may like to work on in one service line versus other. Some individual may would like to contribute to the client plus firms initiatives in different manner. Some individuals have a interest in different geographies. So I think it all starts in hearing them, aligning to the firm's requirements. The advantage that we have here is that we have a lot of opportunities. So for us, to individuals is the only challenge, because we have the demand in terms of where we need to deploy. It's about identifying the right set of talent and then aligning both of them. So this has worked a lot, and definitely we have different L&D programs, coaching sessions, mentorship, which does a lot while we are developing our future leaders, and giving them real use cases and challenges, and working independently on that, giving them opportunity in different forums, in different events, has helped us ensure that they grow not just technically but also non-technically.
Great, Sanchit. Another question that comes to my mind is, we have presence not just in tier 1 cities but also in tier 2 cities like Jaipur and Chandigarh. And we have a lot of people associated from these locations. So, do you have any thoughts with respect to these locations that you'd like to share with us?
I think this is excellent question, and I can say that we started our business in the COVID season, and it was very difficult for us to hire talent at that point of time, because there was lot of competition in terms of hiring the right set of individuals, and we certainly started with Gurgaon as our first office. However, when we thought about a tier 2 city, Jaipur came to our mind, and I can tell it has been a game changer since then. We got a very good talent at scale and across levels, which helped us build our practice over the last few years, which motivated us to further delve into other tier 2 cities. And then we started another office in Chandigarh, which we got the similar story of success there. Uh, so our approach for talent is to definitely diversify among us tier 1, tier 2 cities. And it's not that we are not aspiring to continue our journey in tier 1 city categories. And Mumbai is a classic example where we recently started our office. And we are very hopeful to work in a tier 1 cities as well. And our philosophy around offices, a geographical presence, is twofold. Open an office where we have people, open an office where we have clients. So Jaipur is a classic example where we had people. So we brought office to them rather than asking them to come to Gurgaon all the way, leaving their families and work there. So we brought the office there, and we have a lot of clients in Mumbai, and we thought that let's bring an office to them, near to them, which helps us to manage better operationally, logistically, and it becomes commercially viable for our clients.
That's wonderful. I mean, Bombay is truly a classic example. You differentiated between open an office where there are people and open an office where there are clients. So we started with having clients in Bombay and we opened up that office. Are there any plans of expansion? Are we getting more domestic clients in the space? Are we focusing on US clients? What is the situation?
Certainly, I would say the pace of winning clients has increased for us. Uh, Earlier, we were tracking our addition of clients maybe on a 3 months or a quarterly basis. Then we moved to monthly, and current situation is that we are tracking on a weekly basis. I'm sure as we move forward and with the kind of practice, with such amazing leaders that we have got, and their dedication, their focus, and it will just increase the speed uh, to daily. And I'm sure uh, once we move to daily frequency in winning the clients, our growth is going to be significantly higher to where it is currently. However, growth is an element which everyone would look forward to. For us, it is growth and sustainability. We want to ensure that we grow sustainably. It's not about adding more clients, but we truly value our existing client relationships. And this has given us uh, better results in past, where rather than working for 50 different clients and adding 50 different clients, we want to firstly focus on our 10 clients, right? Just saying some hypothetical numbers here. Once we are able to successfully deliver them and we have reached to a stage, I think that would be a point when we want to delve aggressively on our other clients.
Okay, Sanchit. So we spoke about technology and AI, and we can see that most of the organizations are focusing on AI tools these days. Are we also building any tools in house, or what are we doing in terms of technology and AI?
I would say technology is evolving at a rapid pace right now. And the way I think is a pyramid, kind of a three-layered approach, wherein the bottom of the pyramid is how we have the firm enterprise technology, and we have significantly worked on that in last few years in terms of having the CRM system in place, having the people related information in terms of times, expenses, quality related system in place, be it independence, uh, logistics in terms of the ticketing systems, the travel systems, uh, also in terms of making sure we have the autonomous recruitment engine, and we are currently working heavily on that in terms of making sure we have the right application tracking system plus using AI to do one set of interviews is definitely we are uh, working on that. So far we have been able to build AI stack in house, uh, and which has helped us to use the potential of different LLMs currently in the market, and our objective would be to continuously invest in that heavily. But so far, there are so many use cases, for example, contract reviews, reconciliations, extraction and analysis to make it more real time, which we were able to curate as per the client's need. So the way we say forward is that it is not just developing something which is not required, but since we have business domain knowledge, that functional knowledge, so we are techno functional experts, and we marry both business knowledge and technological knowledge and build tools in house. However, we do believe that we need to increase our speed uh, and pace there, and we are committed on that, and we have set budgets and targets around it, and we will continuously work on that. And the lastly that comes forward is how best we can market the products. So just from being a service industry, how we can also get started with a segment of providing technology at a scale uh, to different clients. And we have a lot of clients in private equity, and we have been thinking what will be the right product, because we see a huge opportunity in this industry where there is a dearth of technological intervention so far, and we are committed to hear them, understand their business challenges, and develop a solution for them. Uh, so we were able to do some part of it already, uh, but I'm sure that over the next few months we will able to solidify our current technology stack, which is going to help our clients.
All of that sounds very exciting, Sanchit. One thing in particular that I found very interesting was you mentioned the use of AI to generate and conduct interviews on the first level. So, could you kindly elaborate on that?
That's a great question, Premvada. So, if you remember, I said that we developed an in-house recruitment tool, which we said Sift Talent, and it worked fantastically for us for last 2 years. We processed almost over 10,000 profiles. However, the way we see future is that the pace of our hiring will just increase, right? Currently, it is not just about hiring, but the speed of hiring. So, when we think about speed of hiring, AI is something which probably will come to our rescue, because time is limited, both at our end in terms of scheduling an interview, coordinating for it, and doing it at large numbers and as per the candidate's suitable time. What AI is going to do for us is that we will continue having a project management, our coordination, our documentation within an application tracking system, but we are going to integrate with the artificial intelligence agent who will do the sourcing for us, do panel one interviews for us, and once the panel interview is done, there will be only probably one meeting as a final in person or a manual meeting which will remain. This will help us to screen thousands of profiles in short span of time, run parallel interviews at odd times during a day, during a week, which will help us to speed up our hiring function. So this is what we look forward as the capability of AI, and we are already evaluating how we can put in best use, and definitely we are confident that we will be able to achieve that.
Wonderful. AI definitely helps us boost efficiency in our organization and our daily work. So, before we wrap up the podcast, we have a rapid fire round. I'll ask you a set of 5 questions and you need to answer them in 3 words each. Shall we begin with that?
Oh, sure, I love that.
Great. The first question is 3 words to define Pierag Consulting.
Well, a lot of words that comes to my mind since we launched our brand last year, and we know how and what we are doing. But if I have to really pick three, I would say innovation, inclusion, and impact.
Great. 3 leaders that you take inspiration from.
Late Ratan Tata, Nandan Nilekani, and MS Dhoni.
Wonderful. 3 traits that you admire the most in your team members.
Sense of ownership, honesty, and collaboration.
Okay. 3 things that you read on a daily basis to keep yourself updated with the industry trends.
Daily newspaper, which is Economic Times, Mint, and McKinsey and alike articles around thought leadership.
Wonderful. And 3 words that you'd use to define your leadership style.
Adaptability, integrity, and structured approach.
Great. Thank you so much, Sanchit. It was a very insightful session and you spoke with so much clarity. I'm sure our listeners also got to learn a lot from this. Anything you would like to say in the end?
I think I completely enjoyed this conversation as well, and all the questions were very great, and it also helps us. And if I say about me here, to introspect back uh, about our views, our thoughts about it. I'm sure we are not disaligned there, and I I enjoyed this conversation a lot, and I hope coming back on this in near future as well.
That'll be a pleasure, Sanchit. Thank you, viewers, for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the session. And for more such conversations, please stay tuned to our podcast. We'll have more conversations with leaders who are redefining operations and innovation in the consulting world. Thank you.